I want to tell you a story about a god of the Northmen called Balder. The second son of Odin, he was beautiful, good, and wise. He was fair of feature, he spoke fair words, he gave fair judgments. Light shone from him. Only good things were told of him. Yet he was the first of the gods to die. The Northmen tell this story about the death of Balder. It begins with dark dreams. Night after night, Balder dreams of his own death, and the gods fear for his life. So Balder's mother makes everything in the world: fire, water, iron, stone, earth, wood, beasts, birds, serpents, poison, sickness, swear an oath not to harm her son. One by one, they each make their vow. Neither weapons nor wood will injure him, Balder's mother boasts. Only Loki, father of Hela, the mistress of death, is not amused.
He loves you. Calling you. Dillian. Dillian, we're here. Dillian. We're nearly here. We're coming. Open the gate. She can't. Open the gate. It's locked. Try harder. She can't. The gate. She can't. She can't. She will. Go through it. It's dangerous. Follow it. What's behind the gate? Where will it take you? It's not safe. Dillian. There he is. There he is. What are you waiting for? Quick, find a way. Find him. Go through it before he disappears. Dillian, don't lose him. Way too many times. Always let him disappear. Dillian, there he is. Quick. Where is he? Where's he gone? We're in the wrong world. He's not here. She's in the wrong world. He's not in this world. He's in the other one. He's in the other one. He's in the dark world. The dark world.
The world once seemed so simple. Black and white. darkness and light. Narrow dividing lines of our own making. Dillian taught her to see further. To peek through the cracks and see the worlds of color stretching away from the gloom. And Senua explored new paths into the unknown.
Dillian saved her. You owe your life to Dillian. You owe everything to him.
The gods feast and rejoice and amuse themselves by throwing spears and stones at Baldur, striking at him with sword and axe. But he comes to no harm, whatever they do. The gods never cease to wonder at this great marvel. But Loki shapes himself into a woman and asks Baldur's mother, "Is it really true that all things promise to keep him safe?" "I did not ask the mistletoe," Baldur's mother confesses. "I thought it was too young." Oh dear.
He didn't believe that she was cursed. He saved you when everyone else turned their backs. He cared in a way that nobody else did.
You can't go up there.
You can't go up there.
Not in this world.
Not in this world. You can't. You broke it. You killed me. You couldn't see the darkness within you.
You have blood on your hands.
You are guilty.
Was it worth it?
Dillian doesn't know who killed him, but we do.
Do you remember the smell of his neck?
Do you remember the way he touched you? What does it feel like to be in love?
Dillion saved you from them. He's the reason she's alive at all.
Senua, you've got it.
Dillion's in
Why
the
isn't
tower.
he here? He's gone.
He's in the dark world.
He's gone to the dark world.
You're in the wrong world.
He's in the other world.
The dark world.
Without you. You have no chance of love now.
Nobody will love you again.
Ever again.
There he is. Where are you taking me?
He's up there. How do you get up there? There's a way. There is a way up there.
Your curse
She can
claimed
do
Dillion.
this. You're nearly there. She can find the way.
Loki makes a dart out of mistletoe and goes to the gods as they throw things at Balder. The blind god, Huth, was there. Loki asks him why he wasn't taking part. Huth says, I cannot see where Balder stands, and even if I could see him, I have no weapon. Loki replies, here is a wand. I will tell you where he stands. And Huth throws the mistletoe at Balder. It pierces through him, and to everyone's horror, Balder is killed. And for this, Huth is slain.
She thought she had light within her. She is pure darkness.
She should have listened.
Why didn't she listen to him?
She thought she could defy.
Huth says, I cannot see where Balder stands, and even if I could see him, I have no weapon. Loki replies, here is a wand. I will tell you where he stands. And Huth throws the mistletoe at Balder. It pierces through him, and to everyone's horror, Balder is killed. And for this, Huth is slain. The Northmen tell how the gods mourned Balder. His body was to be burnt on his ships, but they could not manage to push it into the sea, and sent for a giantess to do it. She comes riding a wolf and has vipers for her reins. She pushes Baldur's ship into the sea with such force that the ground shakes and the rollers burst into flames. When Baldur's wife sees his body carried onto the ship, her heart bursts with grief, and she dies. She's put next to her husband, and the pyre is lit, sending the dead to hell. But even so, the gods cannot accept his death.
Years had passed since she left her father. She trained hard alongside her friend, Dillian. She saw things no one else could. Patterns, shapes, movement. An intuition that made her an exceptional warrior. Friendship turned to love. But the shadow of darkness never let her go. She was caught between two worlds. That of Zinbel and her past. And Dillian. Her future. Two realities tearing at her soul.
Wasting your time. You have no time for this. Speed up. These rooms mean nothing. It's all part of their game. They've set you trials to distract you. They've set you up, and now they're going to watch you. What if these trials mean nothing? Because they're laughing at you. They take you closer to Dillian. Dillian, and you're letting this get in the way. What if they are just to tire you out, to make you weak before the battle? He was the only one that didn't mind our going. He loved us.
This love has tortured you beyond endurance.
Do you remember the way he stroked your hair? Do you remember the way you felt? He was the only one that didn't mind the curse. He loved her so much. Dillian undoes the curse. What does it feel like to feel a love so strong? Do you even remember? His love is guiding you. He was kind to her. Do you remember meeting him beneath the tree? About wasting your time just delaying minute by minute by minute. What does she think she's doing? You're not special. She thinks she Dillian undoes the curse. They mean nothing. Being special. A waste of time. It could all be a waste of her time.
Overcome with grief, the gods send Hermod to ride to Hell and ask Hela to let Baldur return home. All the gods are weeping, he says. Are they? Asks Hela. We shall see if he is truly missed. If everything in the world will weep for him, he shall go back to the gods. But if even one thing refuses, Baldur stays with me. The gods send messengers everywhere. Weep for Baldur, weep him out of hell. And everything wept. Men, beasts, earth, stone, tree. trees, metal, everything, except for a giantess they find in a cave. Balder was never my friend, she says. Let Hel keep what she has. The Northmen say that the giantess must have been Loki in disguise.
He saw who she could be.
He saw who she really was.
He saw the warrior within. Your curse has claimed Dillion.
He didn't know. He was kind. It's all your fault.
It's all your fault.
You're cursed. Do you remember the way he looked?
The Northmen tell how the gods punished Loki for Balder's death. They captured him and took him to a cave. They fetched his 2 sons and turned one into a wolf, and he ripped his brother apart. The gods used Loki's own son's entrails to tie him down and turned these bonds to iron and dangled a poisonous serpent over his face so that its venom would drip onto him. Each time the venom drips onto Loki's face, he writhes in agony. The Northmen say that is the cause of earthquakes. A reminder, perhaps, that if even gods must accept death, then so must we.
What if this is pointless?
What are you doing? Why did you think you could make this work? You keep seeing runes. You see runes everywhere. Everywhere. But what if they're not real? What if they don't actually make sense? What if they're a trick? The gods were lying. If you think it makes sense, but really the gods are playing with you. It makes sense in your mind.
curse
But it
cannot
doesn't
be
make sense in your worlds.
The gods are, but it doesn't mean anything.
You can't read this language. You don't understand.
Sinbel was right.
You're wasting time.
You're cursed. You succeed.
Oh, slow.
Quicker. You kill things you like for a curse.
You kill the things that are most precious to you.
Dillion!
Very, very careful.
Dillion never much cared for the underworld, and looked dimly upon the druids, like her father, Sinbel. I guess he took after his father, a chieftain who believed nothing he couldn't see. And he happened to be blind.
Girls.
And now the darkness is swallowing them both.
Be quick.
Dillion never much cared for the underworld, and looked dimly upon the druids, like her father, Sinbel. I guess he took after his father, a chieftain chieftain who believed nothing he couldn't see. And he happened to be blind. She felt safe in Dillion's arms, learned to see the world through his eyes. And slowly, the darkness that had bound her so tightly began to unravel.
Very careful.
You've come this far, don't let him slip away.
It's a narrow bridge.
Good.
And there's a long way to fall. It's your fault. He's disappeared. You've lost him to the sea. He's gone. You've lost him to the... Just come to the water. He's drowned.
Senua, your father cannot understand your darkness. He cannot see through your eyes. No one can. My own father was born blind. Doesn't have the faintest idea of what the night looks like. The word dark to him means as little as the word light. So someone is afraid of the dark. Should we fix them by taking away their sight? Would you give up the beautiful world that you, and only you, can see just to be rid of your nightmares? Or is this the price you pay for the gift you have? A gift that makes you so special in my eyes. Just another part of the person I love.
I left for the wilds to protect you from my darkness. Because I love you. But it made it worse. I'm so sorry.
Killing you would be too easy. They're taking your memories to torture you. They're taking you from the inside. You're disappearing one memory